Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check. TikTok while it's just us. Let me move this. TikTok while it's just us. I appreciate the platform and the opportunity to use the platform to connect with like-minded individuals. With that said, we're gonna use this platform to educate with like-minded individuals. With that said, we're gonna use this platform to educate, edify, and uplift. If it happen to be entertaining, that's even better. Peace to you, peace to you. We're gonna see how this internet hold up today. Peace, light, love, good energy, and good vibration to you. Peace to the gods. I said peace to the gods and the goddesses, the queens, the kings, the mothers, the fathers. Peace to the soul tribe, the kingdom, the star seeds, the awakened. This is the people's life. This is the people's life. Peace to the clans and the families, light, abundance, and love, good health and energy, high vibration on you and yours. This is a public service announcement. Consider this a daily reminder that it is still the present. Excuse me. And this is a true statement. Excuse me. And this is a true statement. Absolutely true. I try my best to deal with the absolute truth to the best of my ability, though I will go on a tangent here and there. But what this is a space for those who are waking up out of the spell of the Abrahamic religions. People that are waking up out of the spell of Christianity in particular. You may be going through experiencing isolation, a disinterest in the things and cares of this world. So this is a space for you to help explain that this is a normal process. This is how it goes. We're going to look at it, though, from the present. If you are experiencing this and you waking up and you in your cocoon, you don't want to, this chasing this world, no longer see the point in it. You no longer see a reason for it. And it's causing you to be isolated. This is normal. This is a normal process. It's nothing wrong with you. You waking up from a rest. You've been asleep. And you're beginning to see you from a higher dimension than you have before. To explain it, I like to use science. Let's use a little bit of science today. I'm kind of a geek. I'm kind of a nerd. I always have been. And I like to read and stuff. Yeah, I like to read and stuff like that. I like to read and stuff. Yeah, I like to read and stuff like that. So let's look at it like this. The point, the dot, the point. That's one dimension. Then from that point, 360 degrees, that's another dimension. That's a circle. That's two dimensions. It has literally two dimensions. And then the next level, a higher level of perception would be the sphere, which is the third dimension. And then a higher level of perception than that is to see the circle, but by experiencing a cycle, synchronicity. That's the fourth dimension. The question is, what does the sphere look like, or how synchronicity? That's the fourth dimension. The question is, what does the sphere look like, or how is it experienced in the fifth dimension, where the laws of physics do not apply? when you wake up, it's like you're seeing yourself and your life itself, from a higher dimension, where those around you only experience life according to what they can see, touch, taste, smell, and hear. And it's really all that matters. But from this dimension, none of that stuff really matters much, because as far as the physical body goes and its relationship to this realm, it will always be cared for here. This realm is designed. So that's not something you necessarily have to concern yourself with in the present. I don't know Thor. If you call it Thursday, you got that from Rome, who got it from Babylon, and the worship of the sun, moon, and stars. So today is Thursday, and the star that's being venerated is Jupiter, Jove, Skyfather. The Canaanite equivalent, they said, was Baal, or you had El Elyon. The Greek equivalent, Zeus. And then you have Enlil, the Sumerian. I think you get that from the Sumerians. But Jupiter is the celestial body that's being personified. But Jupiter is the celestial body that's being personified. Thor being the latest personification that came to you as you venerate your colonizers and their ancestors instead of your own every day of the week. Because a week is what it is, and it is a type of bondage that you're in due to confusion. So you think you got 7 days that consist of the rising and setting of the sun. And that's how you perceive reality due to this spell. But the truth is, it's still the present. I went to sleep in the present. I woke up to the present. I'm still experiencing it now. Matthew means the gift, the gospel. Matthew woke up to the present. I'm still experiencing it now. Matthew means the gift, the gospel. Matthew means gift of God. God, Elohim, the mighty ones, the kingdom. A kingdom is a family, last time I checked. Just so happened that's how I got here, by way of a family. Ain't that something? Looking at it from the present, and it's always the present, the gift. Well, what's the sign of it? The light coming, and we arrive at it by grace. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, the gift, the present. What's the sign of it? Mark. The light of day, the light that come to you by grace. Luke, light, grace, John. It's always the present, right? The present, man, the gift. I choose to see it as a gift because I did not earn it. I didn't buy it. I didn't perform the ritual. I didn't say the prayer. I didn't believe the right doctrine. And that I arrived at the present by way of grace. It was an extension of the goodness of my mothers and fathers, my mother to be specific. That's how I got here. That's who I'm in the image and likeness of. And the elders that started my family line. You got the law in and the elders that started my family line. You got the law and you understand the law. Our people running around. The law is to govern the lawyers and the judges, the Elohim. The law is to govern the lawyers and the judges. And the lawyers and the judges are the servants or slaves of the people. But the law is to govern them. But in upside down, backwards world, law, a statement of order or relation of phenomena that so far is known is invariable under the given conditions. Let's give you the definition of what a law is because conditions. Let's give you the definition of what a law is because what you call sin that you insist on carrying around with you like a bag full of rocks, what you call sin is breaking the law. But what you call law didn't come from a pen or a hand or a man. This is where we part ways with the religious. Because our understanding of what law is literally polar opposites. What we call law, what we know to be laws based on the definition of the word, is one thing I need you to focus in on is invariable. What we have observed, and listen to me, the season of spring, they don't vary. It's invariable. The winter, when it's the conditions that let us know it's the season where nothing grows is invariable. It don't change. No matter what you call it, what side of the hemisphere you on, it's certain things that don't change, and it's not based on anything written down. But it is observed to be law. It's experienced to be law because it don't change. That's how it goes. With this understanding of what law is, when you heard it, you may have heard it as the laws of Ma'at. You may have heard of when you heard it, you may have heard it as the laws of Ma'at. You may have heard of the laws of nature, Mother Nature. Or you may know the universal laws. Well, all of that in relation to what these laws represent is feminine. The principle is masculine. The manifestation of the principle is feminine. Experience from a higher dimension, we're not talking gender. But on all levels, this law manifests as far as what we've observed. You know how we were saying, man, everybody go on strike, don't go to work, don't clock in, and we gonna make them house the homeless, and we gonna make them house the homeless and feed the hungry, right? And they say, no, we're not gonna do that. That's not a good idea. We don't like that idea. It's gonna stop the supply chain. It might cause a disaster. Whatever the reason was. I say, how about we dedicate a whole pay period? Everybody dedicate a whole pay period instead of paying us, tell the company the money they're supposed to win to us, let it go to homeless shelters so nobody else is homeless. Everybody, one whole pay period. Instead of paying us, money that's supposed to go to us, the company got to use that money to build homeless shelters and homes for the homeless. Do that sound crazy? You still get to go clock in. And it's like, hey, the people gonna take care of it because we know the billionaires, yacht bills really get pay period, 2 weeks of work. And instead of us getting paid, we're gonna dedicate all this money to building homeless shelters all across. Do that make more sense? You still gets to go to work, still gets to clock in. I'm trying to figure out. Have you experienced it's like the people in the system give you more pushback than the people who created it. The people that's in the system that can complain about it give you more pushback for not participating in that system than the people who created it. But the push our goal than the people who created it. But the push our goal is to create an alternative. It's nothing very radical. Matter of fact, it's a very old strategy. Group economics, a collective coming together and see to our own needs from what we already possess, what we've built up as a group. Very old model. As an alternative to eliminate the biggest expense we have, which is rent, we figured if we come together and acquire land and build on that land, hey man, we just eliminated our biggest expense. Now our work is for the community and for whatever else it is we want to build as a community. That expense that would have went to paying them rent or mortgage, man, you got 5, 6 friends, all y'all staying in an apartment. Why not get y'all? You got 5, 6 friends, all y'all staying in an apartment. Why not get y'all a plot of land and build y'all some apartments, shipping containers, RVs on your land that you got. Keep your job. Hey, I don't want to stay in it. All right, renovate it, rent it out. But what we looking to do by coming together and acquiring land, building on that land, is to create wealth and value that we can borrow against to go and create more. But we just applying the law. All right, y'all. So I want to relook at it. We coming from Deuteronomy. Shout out to Fluff Skidoo. Shout out to Thinker and El Oso and Christina Carroll, Divinely Gifted. Shout out to everybody doing the deconstruction right now. Deuteronomy 32:8. I wanted to show y'all something in this book. My contention is that the one that you call the Lord God, mic check, one you call the Lord God in the book, that's actually your adversary. And that these are people. And that the one you call God, Elohim, mighty ones, these are your ancestors. This is where you come from. I'm on the we deconstructing the book. So when you deal with the book, let's understand something. This book is not for everybody, even though many of us can read. But you only know how to read spells. And until you know how to read signs, this book is not for you. If you can't read signs, if you think reading signs is divination, this book ain't for you. This book, especially the first 5 books of it, is the audience is Moses. That's the audience. That's who is being spoken to, and who this story, who this narrative is being quoted to. Is being quoted to Moses. That's the context. Do you understand? If you think Moses is a character that existed many years ago, this book is not for you. It's not for you. The laws are for the lawyers and the judges. The laws govern them, and they are the servants of the people and the king. And they are the servants of the people and the kingdom. It tell you in Deuteronomy 32:8, because we finna unlock the book for you, but I'm just gonna unlock it from 32:8 today. I've been unlocking it from different places. Today we're gonna unlock it from Deuteronomy 32:8. And we're gonna look at what this stuff means. Trigger warning to you: if you understand the word God based on your belief in an invisible male character and not the etymology of the word. I will repeat, trigger warning to you: if you understand the word or title God based on your belief in an invisible male character and not the etymology of the word, you could be triggered or offended by some of the things I'm about to say during the course of this live. Like when I call my people gods, this may offend you. Calling today Thursday, you gods is going to really irritate you. This may not be a safe space for your mind. The word mean the mighty ones or the powers, and one of the definitions of that word power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. That's how you create. It means you create from here. Now, just because you create from here and what's here can't be seen, touched, taste, smell, heard, only you experience, it don't mean nothing else was around. It just means you create from here. Whatever, you have the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired. Whatever, you have the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. Because other people around you may not have the ability to define the phenomena. And making it act in a desired manner have to do with knowledge of whatever the phenomena is and observing how it behaves. We get into these universal laws because they come from it. Observation and experience, not the pen. Deuteronomy, I said 32. We're going to bust down the creation narrative from Deuteronomy chapter 32. And I'm looking at verse 8. I want you to understand why we coming at it like we are. You are under a spell that you got put under in 1619. We are. You are under a spell that you got put under in 1619. And it was put together in 1611 by King James. This is the King James version of the spell that was given to you by Rome. And it is the Roman version of the Greek version of the spell. And it's the Greek version of the spell, or the Persian version of the spell, which is the Egyptian version of the spell, which is the Babylonian version of the spell. And we're going all the way back and showing you what you got. Because human sacrifice, it's different sides of this pole. And the justification of human sacrifice is what you're dealing with. The lamb that is slain. What is war? It's human sacrifice on a mass scale. And you're dealing with some people, they got kicked out and exiled. You're dealing with some people that got kicked out in exile. (32:8) say when the Most High gave the nations that. Hold on. I feel like I need to say this. Oh man. Most people that get into this Bible and go back and forth and debate this Bible from the dimension that I'm looking from and speaking of, I'm not bragging, I'm not all this elitist shit, I'm just giving you real shit. When we say what the word is, and I always say a word is a repetition of signs that appear in the same pattern every time you see them. A word is a repetition of signs that appear in the same pattern every time you see them. I use spring, summer, fall, winter as an example of these signs that appear in repetitive patterns every time you see them, to help you understand what a word is at this level. And they are not read, but experience. The circle is not seen at this level, it's experienced as a cycle. And this is why all the way down to its lowest level, the unleavened portion of the book speak of the word as signs, because you read signs. That's what a word is. There are other words around us in the same pattern every time they show up. Birth and rebirth, sunrise and sunset. You name it. Everything. We notice and observe and experience a synchronicity of signs. These are words. But you have to be at a higher level of perception to see it. If you cannot, then you are confined to spells. So your understanding of the principle, the concept of Most High or God, Elohim, the powers, is based on a spell. If the G is capital, if all the letters are capital. But dealing with energy, dealing with the kingdom, the energy is always the capital G. No matter what you're spelling. Because we're dealing with how do we experience the kingdom, the family, the seat of authority here. As I am. That's the point that grows 360 degrees than the sphere. Let's go real slow, man. 32:8. When the that's why I pause here. Moses is being spoken to. Moses at the lowest level is a character, a person that you believe existed long ago. Moses means drawn from water. Drawn from the waters. The waters are peoples, nations, and tongues. You call it baptism, but you think baptism is a ritual of obedience for your salvation. That's the ritual. Being dunked in the water is a ritual, but baptism is a renewing of the mind, not the washing of. Is a renewing of the mind, not the washing of dirt from the body. So when you dunk yourself in that water, does that renew your mind? Does dunking yourself in water and making a confession renew your mind? There is no ritual on earth that you can perform that does. And it is a fall from grace to believe that it is upon you performing some kind of ritual that any blessings come by grace. It's a gift called the present. The proof is, show me the ritual you perform to get here, to arrive at the present. What ritual did you perform? But when you made it about that, that's considered a fall from grace. So we're gonna leave time. We're gonna leave Thursday. We're gonna leave Thursday because we don't know Thor. And we're gonna come back into the present. It's always the present. We're dealing with an eternal principle, most high. Let's help you understand most high. What we saying, there is a limit, there is a height to what we can know, and there is a height, a limit to our knowledge from where we are. And the height of that is the ceiling. And beyond that is what we call the unknown. That principle, beyond the ceiling, beyond what we can know. That principle is what we mean when we say most high. That principle is masculine in relation to its application, to the experience, to the symbol of it. Most high, the point where you beyond your ability to comprehend, imagine, see, or know, which you can't see the beginning of or end to. Yeah, we experience this principle as darkness. Knowledge, light is knowledge. We experience this principle as darkness. Well, we can't see the knowledge, light is knowledge. We experience this principle as darkness. Well, we can't see the beginning of or into, no beginning, no end, the eternity. This principle, masculine, is symbolized as a circle, feminine. No beginning, no end, 360 degrees. She represents the principle of Most High, how it's experienced. We're talking kingdom. We're not talking religion. Kingdom is a family, ain't it? I said you got your masculine, and then you got the symbol, the representation, the reflection, the application of the principle. You got mama and daddy. We talk in relation to one another. These principles can be seen. We were describing how we relate to it. Family, relation, kingdom. And it operates according to kingdom. And it operates according to law. It's a law that governs it. And it's eternal. It don't come from a pen, a finger. This is we only talking to Moses now. That's it. The only one we're talking to. The principle of the Most High, right? If we just describing how that, so we have the principle, and then we got the application, we got the principle. Each Most High can't think of it, can't. What is the beginning? What is the end? I don't know. Boom. How is that darkness? How we symbolize it? 360 degrees. That's her. The principle is him. The symbol, what symbolize the principle? That's her. Now we have the application of it, and the application of it is wisdom. The principle is knowledge. Knowledge is power, and the application of that is wisdom. And the expression of that is the word. That's the sun. That's the light. That's how knowledge is made manifest. Remember, a word is a repetition of signs that appear in repetitive patterns because we're looking at it from a higher dimension. But what we're using symbols to describe how we relate to these principles, how we experience them. And so the light is born as knowledge born. And this is how the Father is perceived, renewed mind. This is the baptism that is experienced, not the ritual that's performed. This is the baptism that is experienced, not the ritual that's performed. In the ritual, everybody get to see it, clap, hallelujah, jump up and down. But the experience is going to be deeply personal. Won't be nobody around. But you are witness, and this is the point of you witnessing the light. This is the unsealing of the book, and the law applied to the lawyers and the judges. And we only talking to Moses. When the Most High gave the nations their inheritance, when he divided all mankind, he set up boundaries for the peoples, according to the number of the sons of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob his allotted inheritance. The sons of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob his allotted inheritance. And how to look at the creation narrative and let us make man in a whole nother light. This is also ties into the 144,000, and we're going to look at what the seal is. Because we're talking about the division of the inheritance of mankind and their boundaries, according to the peoples of the number of the sons of Israel. And then you got the Lord in all capital letters. The reason I point this out, because every time you see Lord in all capital letters, it is the tetragrammaton. And the tetragrammaton mean I am. But it's pronounced, you pronounce it Yahweh or Lord. I contend it's actually pronounced you. That's why it mean I am. But I don't want to get off into that. But it mean I am. Jacob is heel catcher or trickster. The other end of the pole. Family is this kingdom of the Most High, according to the Bible, function as a priesthood. This is important to understand because the priest is the mouth of God. Remember, Moses is being spoken to. You know, he's getting this from the mouth of God, but it's important to understand that a priest is the mouth of the Elohim, the elders. Every time God said, God is talking, it's actually a priest, a person saying something, but only Moses is being spoken to. This is a priest talking to Moses. So Israel mean he who struggles with the mighty one. So Israel mean he who struggles with the mighty one, El. Because there was in this kingdom one of the priests fell. One of the priests and his people, the story goes, rebelled and they were kicked out of the kingdom. And he is a mighty one that you wrestle with. In Israel, mean a state of being. It involves a state of struggle against this mighty one at this level. At the lowest level, Israel is a geographical location or an ethnic group. But in this dimension, Israel is a state of mind, one engaged in a struggle against a mighty one. And it's only them that are engaged in this struggle that the boundaries of mankind are divided according to. Because let us make man and let them rule. This is them. Those that are engaged in this struggle. Not everybody. It's a lot of people, but only those engaged in the struggle against the mighty one is who we dealing with when we divided the boundaries. So back to Genesis. Because we looking at the kingdom and unsealing the book. And the 7-day creation narrative and fully understanding it. Jethro, the priest that spoke with Moses, and fully understanding it. Jethro, the priest that spoke with Moses, had 7 daughters. Fully understanding the creation narrative is how you unseal the book. Seven-day creation narrative, 7 seals that reveal 7 warnings about a fallen priest that want to take your position. The rightful rulers here. Let's look at it. Let us make man. Then God said, let us make man in our image. We're dealing with a kingdom, so of course it's going to be us, right? Now, this kingdom operates as a priesthood. The priest is the mouth of God. I think that's Malachi. I think it's chapter 2, verse 7. It's an eternal kingdom. That means no beginning, no end, right? If what you said, I didn't make that. You said that. I said, okay. It's the eternal kingdom. So let's apply it. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. Let's apply the principle. Because the book revealed that things happened before the creation narrative. And the kingdom is eternal. Been here. We're not dealing with time. In eternity, are we dealing with time? Are we measuring time in eternity? Does eternity have a start? Does it end? What does have a start? What does have an end? What does have a start? What does have an end is the lie. What does have a start? What does have an end is your adversary and what he set up. But what's true is always true. So before the war, there was peace. Before the war, there was peace, and believe it or not, the way that societies, the kingdom was set up was matriarchal. You don't gotta believe it, you don't gotta accept it. So we're gonna help you understand this principle one more time. The Most High represent what you can't see, you can't comprehend. You got no word for, no name. You got no word for, no name, no title. You can only refer to it and understand it by your relationship to the principle. Blackness, darkness, the circle. No beginning, no end is represented as a circle. What if I told you that the Most High is not perceived as an old angry man with white hair and red eyes on the throne with 4 beasts in front of him? What if I told you that the Most High is perceived in relation by experience as a newborn baby seated in his mother's or their mother's lap? That's how you perceive perfection. As above, so below. Perfection. All I know is peace. I don't know hate. I don't know greed. I don't know sin. Perfection. Perfect in knowledge. Perfect in grace. Perfect in truth. Perfect in pureness. Perfection. So that baby, the child, the newborn child, what we call a renewed mind. The rebirth. This is how the Most High is perceived by the wise. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. Birth and rebirth, that's how that divine knowledge and wisdom is experienced. It is the word, the repetition of signs that appear in the same pattern. I said birth and rebirth. That's a word. Ain't that how you got it? The word became flesh. If now that you know what a word is. Words, that's the message. What's the message? I am. Well, as long as you I am, and you the messenger of I am. You I am. Angel mean messenger. So we got who gonna rule this thing when the boundaries was set up for mankind. We got us, this kingdom. Rule this thing when the boundaries was set up for mankind. We got us, this kingdom. Now the religions people say, all the Abrahamic religions, they disagree on a lot of things, but they all agree that there is no mother. I continue that this us, according to the Bible, it includes mother. And if anybody need me to show you that, I would be happy to show you in the Bible where us, according to the Bible, does include mother. The religion and the religious doctrine excludes her because the dragon, the system that represent this energy, is at war with her. The laws are to govern the lawyers and the judges, the Elohim, the mighty ones. The lawyers and the judges, the Elohim, the mighty ones. Unsealing the book, you have us making man in our image and our likeness and let them rule over the fish. Who is them? Well, it said that when the boundaries of mankind were set up, it was done according to the numbers of the sons of Israel. Other translations say according to the sons of God, by the way. But why do it say Israel? Because Israel means he who struggles with the mighty one. Because everybody's not engaged in this struggle. So when you read in Revelation, Michael stood up, Michael and his angels. It don't say all the angels fought the dragon. Half the angels fought the dragon. 2/3, it said Michael and his angels fought the dragon. He who struggles with, when you apply the principle, mic check, when you apply that, and Michael and his angels are the one that's engaged with this mighty one. But Michael and his angels were mightier. This is Israel. These are the ones that are given rule and authority and dominion in the image and likeness of the Elohim. The 144,000. We're dealing with this 12. We use the stars to tell a story. Knowledge is contained in the story. We use the stars to tell a story. Stars to tell a story. Knowledge is contained in the story. We use the stars to tell a story. Knowledge is contained in the story. The story is a container for the jar. For the knowledge. And the container is sealed to preserve the knowledge or the food. And to eat is to be taught. So the stars tell a story like this. You have the sun and the moon. You got Venus. You have Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. These 7, especially the 5 planets, but these 7 celestial bodies are observed to go against all of the other constellations that circle the pole star. Now, the sun, out of all of the constellations that circle the pole star. Now, the sun, out of all of the constellations that circle the pole star, the sun only traverses through 13. 12 that we can see, 1 that we cannot. Israel had 13 children, 12 sons, 1 daughter. These 12 constellations represent Michael and his angels that fought against the dragon and his angels. Just counted 7. Every day of your week is named for the 7 I named. These stars that go against the natural order of the rest of the kingdom, the rest of the constellation. As above, so below. That's a reflection of something that's taking place here. I don't want to get it twisted. Everything got turned upside down for you. So let's keep using the stars. Because the sun, it needs 5 wandering stars, only go through these 13 constellations, but the 12 that you can see. These 12 are represented as the ones that fought against going against mother. Because the natural order of things, the stars circle the pole star. That's the child seated in the mother's lap. The backdrop of space is mother, the blackness of it. Remember the feminine principle of Most High? So that blackness is her. The pole star is the child seated in her lap. All of the constellations circle it. The sun supposed to give the praise and supplications and follow like all the other. Sun supposed to give the praise and supplications and follow like all the other one. Threw it down. He wanted to be. This is just the story. We're not saying that the sun. We're using this to show you the principle of envy and jealousy and greed. We're just using stars to show you this story. You'll have 93%, and then it'll be the 7% that might go tripping. And hey, but let me not. So Because these 12 constellations is the ones that have the sun goes through, these are the ones that said that fought the dragon, that fight the dragon. That's below. We didn't talk about the stars to the fourth day, remember? And when we said day, we was talking about light. We wasn't even talking about time. We was talking knowledge and measuring the growth of knowledge from the point of conception, from the point of awareness of I am, and measuring that light. We wasn't talking 24-hour periods, because ain't no time in eternity. What you measuring? But those, we got the revelations is what's being shared with you. But you think revelation is the end of the Bible. But what's written down for you in script in these spells is revelation knowledge in its lowest form. First is the revelation. Ain't no words. It's a knowing that come. Confirmation of the revelation, because it's going to be witness. Then you going to get a testimony. That's the second level of communication. Then after the testimony, to get a testimony. That's the second level of communication. Then after the testimony, the lowest level of communication is the script, because it's the most corruptible. Because as a witness, you witnessing the light that come from within you, not from a book. You can't witness to John. You can witness to the grace that you receive called the light of day. The sign of it is the present. You can't testify to John, but John meaning the grace of God. You can testify to the extension of goodness you receive as the present. This is the good news. I just literally said it backwards. The light of day is the sign. The light of day, Luke, is the sign, Mark, of the present. Good news, Matthew. Experiencing this. So we were just showing you as above, created from the kingdom. Who you think named the constellations in the first place? Everything is created from the kingdom. The kingdom is eternal. The kingdom is within you. But your understanding of you is based on time and spells. What is this unknown that you came from and the unknown that you're going to return to? You know exactly what it is. It's called winter. It's called a period of rest in between regeneration. You know what it is. Represent the unknown. What's going on underground? What the seed doing? What's happening? Going on underground? What the seed doing? What's happening? Measuring growth when you're in the womb, you are. From your mind, ain't no sunrise and sunset. You measuring I am in the growth of I am. Ain't no time in the kingdom. Those that the knowledge came to, that the book is sealed for them, though they sit on the throne, surrounded by their beasts and their messengers. Book is still sealed to them. What we telling you about? We telling you about your colonizers that came with the book, seated on the throne, calling themselves your masters. Didn't they come with a little book? Ain't the book sealed to them? What did they teach you about when it said your masters? Didn't they come with a little book? Ain't the book sealed to them? What did they teach you about when it said let there be light? They said that was the sun. Why? Because they worship the sun. That's why. And the sun represent the one that got everybody deceived, that's actually going against the natural order of things, but because of how he appears, you orienting yourself based on the rising and setting of it. But it's the pole star that determines which way east is. When did we switch over to that? I told you who switched you over to that. Rome. Sol Invictus, who got it from Babylon. Babylon means confusion. When you was held captive in confusion is when the script came. Because before that, in you are sealed with this knowledge. For you, the understanding don't have to come out the book. It have to come out of the book. For them, they not sealed with this knowledge. It ain't in them. Let's look at who we talking about as we keep reading and show y'all. So who got rule over everything? God said, Elohim, the mighty one, most high, let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule. Who is them? According to the Deuteronomy 32:8, them is the sons of God. Them is the sons of Israel. Them is the sons of he who struggles with the mighty one. Them is the sons of Michael and his angels who fought with the mighty one. Them is the sons of Michael and his angels who fought against the dragon and his angels. That's who this is. Man, grow with me, man. I leave all the old ones up. Grow with me. Let's bust who got rule, because the church said, let us make man in our image and our likeness, and let the Lord and his Christ rule over the fish of the sea. That's what the Christians act like this say. But it don't. Matter of fact, the Bible called the Lord and his Christ and them taking over the seventh trumpet and the third woe. They say that's the worst thing that ever happened to mankind, according to the Bible. But right here, man is given rule over everything: fish of the sea, birds of the air, livestock. But right here, man is given rule over everything: fish of the sea, birds of the air, livestock, creatures that move on the ground. They in the image and likeness of the Most High, the Elohim, the judges, the mighty ones. This kingdom that operate as a priesthood. That's what they like. Michael mean he who is like God. God bless them. Them, who is them? According to Deuteronomy 32:8, these are the sons of Israel, he who struggles with the mighty one, Michael and his angels, the 144,000. And here they are being sealed with some instructions and some blessings. That mean the blessing for those that don't like, to be less. What this word mean is they are enabled. They are enabled. They are authorized to operate under these conditions these instructions that's going to be given. They are enabled to carry out these instructions. Because these are the ones that got to deal with Satan and his angels. They're going to have to struggle with them and subdue them. So this is why because everybody not going to be engaged with this struggle now. Just these are the ones that auto. When all the angels fought against the dragon, just Michael and his angels. That's it. Because we only see the sun traveling through 13 constellations, 12 we can see. We use the stars to tell the story. Knowledge is contained in the story. Tell the story. Knowledge is contained in the story. So we looking at the book from a whole nother dimension now that we getting it. And so blessed is they enabled to do what? Authorized to do what? Be fruitful and increase in number. So it say, after them I seen a number that no man could number. Because they followed these instructions that they were enabled to do so. The ones that sealed in the bloodlines, the family trees that come from them, the rightful rulers of this realm. Because they've been here, always been here. Ever since it was us to be here, we was here. That's how far back we go. Before time, before the 7-day week. So we looking at this, how far these instructions that's being given before the 7-day week. So we looking at this, how far these instructions that's being given: be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it. Subdue it from who? From Satan and his angels, from your adversary and his bloodline. And the book gonna tell you about your adversary, what he called himself. He called himself the Lord God. And we gonna trace his bloodline and his bloodline only for the rest of the book. Show you how they get down. By showing you the pose, so you can understand that these laws we got up here ain't just dry up here. Read them. Blow your screen up, squint a little bit, read it. Because you giving some people some rule. Adam is going to be made and be put in the Lord garden that belong to the Lord. And Adam is made to work the Lord's garden for him. We reading about some people that are given rule and able to carry it out in the image and likeness of the Most High. And I'm being given instruction, not commandments. Direction, because it's being given in the positive. It's not being done by reduction. It's not telling you what not to do. It's not how you give instruction. It's done in the positive, telling you this is what you do right here. Do this. But this is gonna be in your nature. It's built in. The law. We're gonna help you understand what law is. Because this is being given to Moses and Moses only about his origins. Only Moses is being spoken to at this point of the book about his origins and where he come from. The law is for the lawyers and the law is for the lawyers and the judges. The law is to govern them. Be fruitful and increase in number. After that, I seen the number that no man could number. Why? Because these people right here was blessed and instructed to be fruitful and increase in number before time. Yeah, when you looking at 7 days as a 7-day week and Sunday, Saturday, I don't know who you worship, but we talking about the completion of a process here. We looking at principles. 0, the first principle is the unseen, but 0 is the first number. So they like 1 and 1, but 1 is the masculine and 1 is the feminine, 1 and the 0. But they both represent first, because she represent the Most High, remember? As above and all of that good stuff. So as you understand, these people are given rule over everything. They told to rule over the fish of the sea, not the Lord and his Christ, mind you. It's not the Lord and his Christ that's giving rule over this realm. But that's who took over the world. We talking about heaven and earth. That's who got rule over heaven and earth. When I say I look at the sky, I know it's mine. Look at the ground, I know it's mine. And look at the water, I know it's mine. Look at the tree, I know they're here for me. I'm not just saying this. I heard a bird singing, and they singing my song, my favorite tune. They let me know it's safe. It's my favorite tune, peace. Everything that represents peace. That's what we tune to. Be fruitful, increase in number. Then, hold on. Rule over the birds and over every living thing that moves on the ground. Fill your Be fruitful, increase in number. Then, hold on. Rule over the birds and over every living thing that moves on the ground. Fill the earth. The word subdue mean overcome, conquer. Everything that move on the ground. So you got the adversary and his people, and they kicked out of the kingdom. They already here at this point in the narrative, Moses. But your people, out of everybody that's here, are the ones with the innate built-in ability to subdue him and conquer him. It's in you. It's your natural. It's your nature. You come from the mighty one, so everything, any field you get in, you're gonna naturally dominate any field. It's gonna be a sign, and they're gonna appear repetitive pattern. Any field you get in, over and over and over and over, you'll dominate it. Except when it comes to stealing, killing. It's not your nature. What you got to steal and everything is yours. Do you understand what I just read? Do you understand what I'm reading? What you got to steal when all you know is having everything? Do you hear me? Everything. I don't even know what it's like. Listen, I don't know what it's like not to everything. Steal what? Kill you and take what from you? I don't even understand which. So yeah, okay. So coming from this, we're trying to get you to understand the law. We're just trying to get you to understand the law that's in place at this point right here with these instructions. These instructions reflect the law. They being given from the kingdom, ain't they? These instructions reflect your nature. That's what governs. That's the law of nature. These instructions, man, listen. Stuff you do naturally. When you go against that, it's not that you're being punished. But if you don't subdue the adversary, the mighty one, then the mighty one gonna subdue you. And you're gonna be his slave instead of ruling, because the polar opposite of rule is slave. And if you don't follow instruction, you gonna find yourself a slave. This a forced labor. This a forced labor. But when you wake up to who and what you are, then you are serving other people, and the labor is not forced, but it's still for free. When you wake up, realize who you are, you're still a servant, slave to the people, but the work is not forced, but it's still not for pay, it's for free. Everything has a polar opposite. This is law. And you know the law. The enemy do too. Well, you knew the law before you exchange that, the natural law, for what your enemy wrote down in his spell book and told you, here your God is, and this what it means, and this is the law. Before that, you had so here it is. I give you every seed bearing, I give you some of the trees. I'm going to charge you $1.99 a pound for the plums. I'm going to charge you $1.99 a pound for the plums. If you don't work, you don't eat. Then God said, I give you every seed. I charge you a few dollars for every seed, some of the seeds, Every seed but one of them plant on the face of the whole earth, in Africa, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. But we in Africa only. In Mesopotamia. Fuck it. It say over the whole earth, my nigga. Cause you the one that stood up and fought when the dragon came out the mama. And you're waking up that you remember that you fought when they came. I'm coming on the ships and you standing on the shore, ready to trade your life, cause you knew they was coming for mama. And you lost, you don't know what to do, you're a warrior. You don't know nothing about chasing no money. Man, in you to go clock in and yes sir and tap the ass and speak in your inside voice for these people. It's not in you. So subdue mean conquer, overcome. But we looking at the conquering and the overcoming, be at war with your vices and at peace with your neighbor. Because in this game, see, hate is the absence of love. You can literally overcome them. Hate is the absence of love. You can literally overcome them by making love. Like they wouldn't even exist because we did a whole bunch of love making, and I'm serious. On this dimension, they need the bullets and the bombs. That's how because that's the absence of peace. We come from peace. Salem, Jerusalem. We know peace. They know war. We perpetuate peace. They perpetuate war. And that was what they said. That's what we describing to you. So everything is yours over Africa, now over the whole earth. They will be yours for food, and all the beasts of the earth, and all the bird. I give you every green plant, and everything is very good. So we at peace. Everything copacetic. What is being described? The seal said before that you allow these angels, these 4 angels that's gonna harm the earth to start doing their thing. We gonna seal these people with the seal of the Elohim, the mighty ones, the most high. Now, the seal ain't the thing. The seal just marked the importance of what's inside of the package, the envelope, the jar. Then the seal is to make sure that it don't get tampered with. So ain't nothing gonna stop this knowledge that's in you from showing up. Because it's in you. It's sealed from showing up. Because it's in you. It's sealed in you. You got soul, don't you? Soul is light. In Latin, the spell that you got, that's the light. Light is knowledge of I am. So you got an inner knowing and an inner knowledge and an inner wisdom that's older than time. In the world, this realm respond to it and to you because of it. They know who you are. You know who you are too. We just helping doing this daily reminder of when we are. Let's help you understand some things about this period that we in between events. Everything is very good. And this happened on the 6th day. So on the 6th seal is when the 144,000 stood up. out of all of them to fight. It's a lot of constellations, but the sun only traveled through 12 that you can see. It is the 13th one, according to the sons of Israel. We're telling the story, though, about those that go and move contrary to nature. And if you come from abundance, greed ain't part of your nature, is it? Chapter 2, y'all know what time it is. I'm not finna read all that. But chapter 2 tell you about the Lord God. He planted him a garden. He made a man out of dust. Ain't no us, ain't no mother involved. And he put the man he made in the garden to work it for him. Adam is his slave. Ain't no mother involved. And he put the man he made in the garden to work it for him. Adam is his slave. This is the exact opposite of what was described in the first 33 verses of the book. But it also gives you a clue that the Elohim rests from all the work that they did. So your ancestors is rested from all their work, true or false. Then you call yourself woke and you getting these downloads and this understanding. Where you think it's coming from? Who you think it's coming from? What you think they knew that was forgotten, wiped out? The books was burned, but it's sealed in you. Where you think the downloads that you're getting is coming from? Did you forgot that this wheel turn? You think you're getting it from the sky? What did your ancestors know about this 25,920 year cycle? What did they know? They knew something. Because I know from 1619 to 2019, people started waking up in 2019. I know I woke up in 2011 and the book was put together in 1611. I'm saying, what did our ancestors know about these cycles that we forgot? This ain't the first time this happened. We that's how the scriptures are, the prophecies are fulfilled because it happened before. You observed it happening before. You observe spring. Every spring is a new spring, but yet and still you've observed spring before. So you know how to predict when the next spring is coming. Well, what if you forget how to read the signs? Well, what if you forget how to read the signs? And they pull up on you like a thief in the night. All right, so the Lord God put Adam in the garden to work it for him. So Adam is in a polar opposite position of them. Because them have rule over everything that move, and they've been given every seed, and they ain't been told no commandments, and they ain't been told nothing about no death. But this is them. Adam, and we talking about him. Remember the Lord and his Christ? And the kingdoms of the world became the kingdom of our Lord and his Christ. These backwards, naked, ignorant people, violent, that came into some knowledge to these people's city, copied their laws, and claimed they got it from the sky. That it came to them. The kingdoms of the world became the kingdoms of the Lord and his Christ, while we trace his lineage only. From his beginning, because your enemy the one got a beginning. The lie about the where heaven is and what heaven is, that what got a beginning. What we telling you, this is written in the stars. What's written in the stars? Well, that's a reflection of what's in here. Your people named the stars. Your people defined the phenomena and made it act in a desired manner by demonstrating their knowledge of it, showing people, hey man, it's gonna be an eclipse. The moon finna look like this in a few days. And people seen that like, oh man, he did a spell, he drew a circle, and all of a sudden the moon looked just like the circle he drew. They think we got power over this stuff. Nah, man, we got knowledge. Let us teach you this stuff. Nah, man, we got knowledge. Let us teach you what we know. Nah, they got the enemy put military bases up all around the world. We put pyramids up all around the world, showing the knowledge that we was going around, sprinkling game everywhere we went. They brought war and division everywhere they went, because this their nature. We're showing you the beginning of it. So everything he's doing is against nature from his very beginning. Is man made from the dust of the ground, or is man born from us in the image and likeness of the us that made them? Was you born? Was it a us involved? Are you in the image and likeness of that us? Okay, so the Lord said that the woman come from the man's rib. Everything he does is backwards and against nature, because he's against nature, the mother and her seed. So in the kingdom, so let's get to how the Most High is perceived. When you approach the throne, in your mind, you envision a male character with white hair and red eyes. But what if I told you the throne was the mother's lap? And the God that sit on the throne is the child, the newborn child. We're just going to show you what the wise saw. Because the newborn child represents a renewed mind. And we're talking about the principle of Most High, but how it is explained. And we're talking about the principle of Most High, but how it is experienced, how it appears. You're dealing with this duality, polar opposite. Don't never look like what you expect it to. Now, the adversary here look like the polar opposite. So if the kingdom, you got the newborn child representing pureness, Most High, perfect peace, perfect grace, perfect love. This is the newborn child in the mother's lap being fed by the mother's breast. That's the kingdom. That's what the kingdom is experienced as. And then you got the judgment scene, because the polar opposite of that is an old man with white hair, red eyes, and rat full of wrath. It's the polar opposite. We dealing with the kingdom, how you recognize the kingdom of peace as birth and rebirth. This is how it's experienced, entered into. Grace. Grace you came from, grace you return to. This is the sign given to you, because the gods, the Elohim, the lawyers and the judges work for the people, and the laws are for them, Moses. The laws are for the lawyers and the judges whose work is for the people. The people, they work and they get paid. The lawyers and judges, your work, you rest from. The Elohim, the mighty ones. That's why you're concerned. You're looking at the whole world. You want the whole world to eat. You want the whole world to have homes. You think like this. You can't help it. How can I be good and I'm just kicked up and I know I want to do something about it. Yeah. It's your nature. You hate greed, you hate the corruption, you hate the violence, the division. Man, I don't understand. It's your nature. You hate greed, you hate the corruption, you hate the violence, the division. Man, I don't understand. Out of all this technology and all this brilliance, you mean to tell me that the human species can't figure out how to make sure everybody eat and everybody have a home? You mean to tell me the earth don't provide enough for that? We don't have the willingness to do it? The capability? So this is what it looked like when your adversary, the kingdoms of this world, have become the kingdom of our Lord and his Christ. That's why it's the seventh trumpet and the third woe, Revelation 11:15. But you celebrate that because you got taught the book, the spell backwards. So you think the kingdoms of the world becoming the kingdom of the Lord and his Christ is how it was supposed to go. No, it wasn't. That's why the unsealing of the book had to do with the creation narrative. So you will know who the rightful rulers are. That's why the unsealing of the book had to do with the creation narrative. So you will know who the rightful rulers are. So what happened when the kingdoms of the world became the kingdom of our Lord and his Christ? Well, Michael and his angels stood up. Chapter 12. Because he went to persecuting the woman after he took over, the Lord and his Christ, after they took over, where he go to persecuting the woman, the mother. And it's just, nature. They hate nature and they hate everything natural. So it got to the point they done persecuted nature and destroyed the earth and so much. Michael and his angels stood up. Because it's a cycle. It's not linear. It's not the first time this has happened. We trying to get to what is the cycle, what is the sphere on the fifth dimension. We know on the second is a circle, on the first is a point. But we get into experiencing this sphere on the fifth dimension. It's why we had to use the stars to tell the story. A word is a repetition of signs that appear in a repetitive pattern at this level. It is a level of perception, relativity. This is law. How you relate to it, how you perceive it. These are not written, these are experienced. So the book, the script is for those who don't receive the revelation. The script is for those who don't have the seal. The book is, the story is for Moses. He who is drawn from water. That's on the only one, this audience, people always come with a context here. In Genesis, in the first 5 books, is a priest, the mouth of God, talking to Moses. That's it. That's the audience. Moses is he who is drawn from water. The waters are peoples, nations, and tongues. We're talking about baptism, and after you have experienced the renewal of the mind. Not getting dunked in the water. The internal renewal of the mind. That's what baptism is. The ritual is the symbol for that process. It is not the thing itself. So that's why it's a separation. Is when we do the deconstruction, if you're listening and rocking this far, the people that's under the spell, the ghost spell, the indoctrination, they not gonna be able to understand this. What we are holding space for is people that do and encouraging community building among us. You know how they talk about if you go in the past, you do one small thing, you could change a whole lot of stuff that happened in the future. Well, if we do something small in the present, it could have a ripple effect for generations. The small thing we did that we thought didn't matter, they tried to suppress us, suppress our voice, kill our motivation. We thought it really didn't matter much. But the law is the compensation, the right action, there's a reaction. That's law. Now, the principle, once you step outside of time, you can look down the line to the ripple effects, the concentric circles that get bigger and bigger. That's what you do at this point. ripple out. Because you're at a higher dimension you're not looking at it in time. You're looking at the growth of this knowledge. Because I know what kind of knowledge I put down and compress into this seed. It's a whole lot of DNA and information compressed into it. And with the point, when it's time in its proper season, it's going to unlock, compress into it. And with the point, when it's time in its proper season, it's going to unlock. So I'm seeing the thing from its end. Anybody not understanding what's being said or what is it, mic checking. We discussing despoofifying the book, decoding the book so the people can see who we are, who you are, and why it is that you are waking up and understanding things in the way and seeing things in the way that you are. We saying our contention is that we've been here all over the earth. We've been here since the humanity has been. We've been here. That's what we're saying. All over. But we didn't always know. All over. But we didn't always know. We learned, we grew, our understanding grew. Not everybody's. But those that did began to wake up and understand themselves and become more aware of themselves through the connections to this realm. These are the people who began to form family units based on these universal laws. Not that they were written, but that they observed. We're not measuring this in time. We don't know how long this took. We're measuring the growth of knowledge. This how long we've been here. Your 7-day week came when we forgot, when the sun set, when the knowledge was forgotten, but only the stories remain. To guard, we forgot what we were here to guard against. If we were here, and these stories we were given was to remind us that we would be able to know the nature of the enemy, know the tree by its fruit, to remind us of what we're here to guard against, so that we would know them by their nature. When we forget who we are, when the knowledge, because everything moves in cycles, right? Sunrise, sunset. And over the ages, the knowledge, it grows, it reaches height. And over the ages, the knowledge, it grows, it reaches height, a golden age of humanity. Then the sun begins to set. The knowledge is forgotten. The why we do this is forgotten. We just know that it was very important for her to remain a virgin. We didn't know, we had forgotten why it was very important for her. We wasn't worried about him, but it was very important for her to remain a virgin. We forgot why. Because she is the gate of the gods. And in the kingdom, ain't no baby mamas and baby daddies. The kingdom of the Elohim, the mighty ones. God, she is the gate of the gods. She represents the Most High. She do. We not. She represents the Most High. She do. We not worried about what she do. Which, yeah, she represents the throne. What happened when you forget this and the knowledge and the application of the knowledge, which is wisdom, is forgotten? Well, then she becomes whore, and it becomes confusion, Babylon. You exclude her, you remove her title, her position. The enemy, he show up by going to war with her. Nature, the one that move against the natural order of things. That's the adversary. So the sun is used to tell the story because the sun is what we see according based on all the other constellations. It move against the natural order of things. All the other constellations circle the pole star, but the sun and the 5 wandering stars on the moon, they go against it. That's your 7. So every day of the week is named for this 7. They go against. Could we just use the stars? The knowledge that was contained, it was sealed. Because we forgot the knowledge that was contained in the story because, the container is sealed. And we unsealing it. And it don't look like the people thought it was going to look. It's not coming the way people always thought it was going to come. When we say, hey, man, y'all don't want to lay it down and don't work and go on a work strike, how about you just go to work, but tell your company don't pay you nothing for about a whole work period, and the company used the money that would have went to us to be a homeless shelter. I'm talking about like everybody would have, imagine everybody in the United States, we're going to unite, and yeah, that's a good idea. We're going to dedicate one pay period. We're going to tell our employers, instead of paying us, all our dedicate one pay period. We're going to tell our employers, instead of paying us, all our money is to go to build homeless shelters. Eliminate homelessness in 2 weeks. Because the billionaires, we know y'all got yacht bills. So people said we're going to come together and do it ourselves. And this is the plan we devised to get it done that's feasible and practical. And now we just looking at collectively sacrificing a pay period of a check. Everybody though, hundreds of millions of people. What y'all think about that? That way you can keep clocking in and keep you standing and keep bootlicking and ass kissing and all the stuff that you love to do. And still be effective in reordering the order of things. Because they said laying it down ain't a good idea. So we just trying to pull the opposite of that, see what they think about that. We're going to apply this law, see if they make any sense. Which one you think will be more effective? Because we want the aim is, the knowledge is what we know to be true coming from what we know. We know that the earth provides enough food and enough material for shelter for everybody here. We know this. You can't tell us it don't. Like you can dress it up, you can sophisticate it up, so you can say it's not greed all you want to, but the problem is greed. And the greed is against nature. It's against the natural order of things. So we use the stars to tell a story about this principle. Get it? So all right, now you understand who this law is for, Moses. That the law is to govern the lawyers and the judges. Guess what's going on in upside down backwards world? Boy, they trying to force it to everybody to follow the laws but them. They watch us to see what we doing so they can figure out a law to outlaw it. And why they going after the non-profits and people starting a homestead. They watching us do this stuff and trying to figure out ways they can increase taxes and or outlaw what it is we doing right now. If we would have if we would have Yeah, because all of a sudden nonprofits became an issue, not when the billionaires was using it to hide money, but when the poor started to use it to come together and combine resources and assets. When people began to use the nonprofit as a way to see to the needs of the community without being taxed. Well, now we got to look at this. So we like to pretend. It's frustrating, uh, but I'm of the attitude of I'm not pretending anymore to not see this for what it is, and I'm not explaining why it should. We understand what irritate me is the people that come that's still in the system, especially those that complain about it. They come try to disparage us, to discourage us, tell us we need to be clocking in and getting a paycheck. You're useless if you ain't out here in this system chasing the dollar. That's what you don't get to do no more. We can't help it because we see what you don't see. But you don't get to disparage or suppress our voice because we resist and stand up to a system you will only complain about. Most of you too even afraid to speak up or speak out about it, even acknowledge it. You have more of a problem with us for resisting it, out about it, even acknowledge it. You have more of a problem with us for resisting it. You have more of a problem with us for not paying into it. Your solution is to get into the system and keep working with it and appeal to the nature of what you know to be a beast. From inside his belly. We know us knowing the nature and courage, we understand that we can't depend on the good graces of the bear to stop eating us. We are not naive enough to believe if the sheep continue to go along with the wolf system, that the sheep will not be eaten. Not naive enough to believe if the sheep continue to go along with the wolf system, that the sheep will not be eaten. We're not even going to entertain it anymore. We are uniting with like-minded individuals to acquire land and build on it, hire contractors. People act like we finna be out here with some motherfucking hard hats and shit. Bitch, we hiring contractors. That's what we coming together to put the money for. So we can hire contractors to build according to what it is we envision. Act like we just all of a sudden get stupid when we want to build an alternative to this system. You're not supposed to be good at this system, my nigga. You're not supposed to be good at playing these spell games with these people. Fine print and dotted line, and you gotta know how to lie and how to cheat. We don't figure out how to lie and cheat and double speak. We don't want to do it. You go do it. You go through all the red tape and the background checks and the credit check. We gonna go buy land. Cause we gonna give him back. We gonna give Caesar back what belonged to him. We just looking at the law. We gonna give Caesar back what belonged to him, and we gonna acquire land. We know what have value. We don't gotta go through land credit check. We ain't leasing nothing. And then we don't gotta. We building homes, workshops, gardens, farms on the land that we done acquired. Everything we build increased our value. Every structure, every animal increased our value. That's what we build increased our value. Every structure, every animal increased our value. That's what this is an old blueprint. Don't get mad at us because you can't think past $1 and a savior. You don't get to disparage us because you too scared to resist this system. You can't think to do nothing but clock in and say yes, sir, boss. We willing to do whatever it takes to resist this system and still figure out ways. Yeah, you talking about? Get mad at us because we looking for ways to live off our inheritance. You let these people take your inheritance? And they gonna say nothing? You supposed to be, listen to me, you supposed to be living off your inheritance, nigga. Off the land your people own and the properties they built on it. You ain't supposed to have to go clock in, nigga. Properties they built on it. You ain't supposed to have to go clock in, nigga. Who gonna do something about it? What you do about it is disparage and discourage and try to suppress our voice? That's what you gonna do about it? Nah, man, we know who you work for. This is an energy thing. And everybody not built to resist the mighty one. So Israel is only he who struggles with the mighty one, because the majority of you niggas just gonna bow down when it get hard, when it ain't popular. You gonna be trying to figure out what's wrong with you. So Israel, Michael, that's the one that stood up and said, nah, it's the world. It ain't me. These hoes greedy and violent. I better not keep participating with it. You seen the mother kept showing up with the child and you ain't know who the father was. And they put it in your face. You made a mockery of it. Because you can't read, nigga. They put her in your face, the woman, the mother, with the child, and didn't nobody know who the father was. They kept putting her in your face, but you could not see the divine. You can't read. So instead of understanding the application, the word being given to you about who you are, what you are, and how the most high principle is applied, put in your face, what did you do? You saw that word put in front of you and threw it down, called her whore, made fun of her, chased her around on the stage with the camera, because she is the woman with made fun of her, chased her around on the stage with the camera. Because she is the woman with the child that don't know who the daddy is, and your dumb ass can't read. So you can't read the sign. You can only read the spell book. You don't know God when you see God. You love what look good and what sound good and what make you accepted. Fuck what make you accepted. That's what we saying now. Fuck what you like. Fuck what you call good. Because we know you say it out of ignorance and you say it out of fear. You too scared to say what we saying publicly, openly. You too scared to say it. You too scared to do something about it. You too scared to come together with the people, put your money publicly, openly. You too scared to say it. You too scared to do something about it. You too scared to come together with the people, put your money with them, buy some land and talk about building. You too scared. That's too far outside of the script for you. That's too far outside the dotted line for you, but you don't get to disparage us and suppress us and disrespect us because you too scared, ignorant to do it. Go chase you some money, nigga. Pay your bills and wait on your savior. That's what you do. You and everybody that think like you. But we out here actually resisting the system and creating alternatives to it. Knowing that it's just a dot, but the dot 360 degrees, and then they grow into a sphere. I'm talking about applying it. I'm outside of time with this. You looking at the next bill, nigga. Miss me. So anybody got questions, comments, man, I tell the people about the announcement. Medusa, appreciate you rocking with us and supporting. So yeah, what's happening? Shout out to the goddess Medusa, y'all.
Hey everybody. Hey Corey, thank you for having me up. I just wanted to make a couple of quick announcements. So there is we talk about the barter and trade thing a lot, and I am still taking information from people who have skills or services or goods that they want to barter and trade. We have someone who's willing to do hair in exchange for services and goods. So any of those things, if you are a plumber or you do yard work or you work on cars, whatever, let me know and we'll add you to our list, and you will be named on the website that we're putting together. There's a lot of free information out here, free courses. I suggest that you guys look into that. I just took a class on grant writing for nonprofits. And I will be doing that for our community, little to no cost. And I will also be using that to barter with too. If someone has something that they would like to trade, volunteering or anything like that, we can get together and come up with a plan. I'll also be taking a class on contract law. Harvard has some free classes out there. So I'll be taking that class because I think that's important for our community when we're getting into these businesses and contracts, knowing what we're getting ourselves into. So I'll be able to provide advice for that as well. Also, just throwing it out there, family and community compounds like our ancestors used to have is a big way that we can get back to our roots and fight the system. Not really fight the system, but just kind of do our own thing and let them do theirs. Because I don't know, when I grew up in the country, like there were different roads and sections that were dedicated to a particular family. And I would like for us to get back to that, having a couple of houses or 4 or 5 houses for each family member on your own piece of land. Get you a couple of chickens so you don't have to pay tax. And even having each family member be responsible for a particular crop, vegetables, seeds, whatever. Each particular family will be responsible for a crop. And that way, food will be plentiful. Plant fruit trees out there. The kids don't have to be hungry, And also, sorry, Corey, but also there's a way that we can take care of our elderly. If there's always someone around, we'll know what they need and they don't have to, ask for rides and all that stuff. We can just take care of our kids and our elderly. Those are the main things as far as the family compound goes. And also, what we're going to be doing for the people's group is adopting a child. There's a lot of kids out there who are struggling to have to pay for their school lunches. And it's only $537 an average. It may be more or less depending on what state you're in. And that's about $45 a month. So the people will be adopting a child or some children and just helping to pay for their lunches. And if you can't afford to do that, I suggest that, when you're grocery shopping, getting a couple extra bags of fruit, waters, stuff like that, hand it out to the kids in your neighborhood just to make sure we're taking care of each other. Also, there's a young lady on TikTok. Her name is Beyond Chandra. And she has a website. It is called Emotional Support S as in Sam, L as in Larry.org. And you can go on there and donate as well, but she delivers food and personal supplies to families and single people in her area. And also, she has kids mixes and stuff like that where you can feed kids over the summer. I think that's really important, keeping in mind that kids need to eat all throughout the year. Um, yes, so again, take advantage of these classes and stuff that are out there. Use these classes to help the community. Apply the knowledge that you have to help others. It's so important, right? And it's funny that Corey has the universal laws up here because on Sunday nights I talk about those. And this Sunday I'll be talking about the law of compensation. And that's often compared to karma, kind of like you do good, you get good, stuff like that. So I'll be doing that on Sunday on this account. Reminder, birds sing at 528 hertz. That's a way to raise your vibration, listening to birds sing and listening to water. Those are different ways you can raise your vibration. Also, to the people that are here, people that vibrate at 600 hertz and above are usually enlightened and experiencing a spiritual awakening, and you resonate with others, and I think that's why you're here. All right, and I hope everyone has a great day. Remember to do some type of acts of kindness. It raises your vibration. Corey, thank you for having me. I'm going to drop down.
Okay, appreciate that. Medusa go live on Sundays, Wednesdays, I think Sundays too. Somebody said, I guess I'm not okay to be here. I don't know why you said that, but no, we're not tripping on I don't know what's going on in the comments, but yeah, everything that Medusa is saying, it's just law, the law of action, and you put the stuff in action, then you get a result from it. And that is, it don't gotta be official. Like you don't need a official document or certification to do these things. Community building is just doing just that. And she give you ways that it can be implemented, practical ways that anybody can do wherever you are, just ways that it's effective and it's needed. So that's why she coming how she coming. We got the people's merch. Somebody asked me about the shirt. I seen somebody wanted to see the brown sweater. Y'all know I can't get the damn the picture back now that I done put this stuff up here. The merch, people, everybody that's a subscriber, we trying to get you some merch if you send your size and where you want it sent to. Sharina is the young lady that designed the people's logo for us. We have 3 or 4 different designs that we have. Every shirt, every sweater, every pair of pants, every shirt, every sweater, every pair of pants, shorts, when we do shorts, is one of a kind. Nobody's going to have on what you have on. It's not like it's off the rack paint by the numbers. It's not. It's a statement. It's people empowering other people lifts everyone. But we want it to be eye catching. We wanted to make a statement. We want it to be original, so that when you wear it, people ask, "Where you get that? What is that about?" And then you can show them, well, people empowering other people lifts everyone. That's why we want that sentiment out. So yeah, we want to make sure you get that. All we have the people's trust. What everything Medusa is talking about is application. It's applying it. Wisdom is knowledge applied. So we put the knowledge out, we chop it up, and then when it comes to the application of it, they don't have nothing to do with the Bible or the book. This the difference. It's a polar opposite of what the application of it don't look like big pretty buildings. It look like independent communities. rule independent, self-sufficient communities is what the application of it looked like, not churches. So when we speak on applying it, we start hearing about barter and trade, trust, coming together with our bread and services to provide for one another. This is how you apply it. So the religion is the polar opposite of it. And this is all according to law, being able to see and recognize this law and how it applies. So yeah, I'm finna get up out of here. I appreciate you balancing it out. Exactly, the balance. Exactly. That's law. You dig what I'm saying? Like that's law. That's how it's supposed. That's why when Thinker and Fluff Ski-Doo and Christina Carroll and Rhea and all these, they go live. Sister Different, divinely gifted Medusa, when they go live, it's this divine feminine that's at work, and you can tell the difference. Where in the masculine, we gonna come with the esoteric, busting it down with the knowledge, Bobby Hemmett, John Henry Clark. But then she gonna make that livable. That's the structure, but she gonna make it a home applicable, and it's just law. That's how it works. It don't. It's not limited to gender. This is a role thing. One got to have the knowledge, and the other one have to have the practical way to apply it. This is law all the way down to the understanding it, the application on the personal level. But once you create the team, the body, uh, yeah. But let's say that's leading to another discussion. So let me get up. Somebody else trying to get up here. Hank, way too real. Hank, way too real. What's happening? Peace to you. If you can hear me.
The next part is going to be
Hank, way too real. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, what's going on? I didn't even know I was on here.
Did you request to come up, or did
Nah,
TikTok
I'm
just
sorry,
pull
bro.
you
My
up?
bad. I was dealing with the kid, with the baby. I'm so sorry, bro.
You good? You good? Peace to you.
Yes.
Say y'all, if do anybody got any questions, any comments about anything I just said or been saying? Sharp Edge, what's happening? Peace to the God.
Yeah, first time coming up here, brother man. Everything that you're teaching, I'm about at that point. I can give, I can give even their dollars away to people that may need it, and I don't feel good about it because I know it's necessary for them to have that. If you understand what I'm saying, I'm not doing it for looking for something because I did something good. I'm doing it because it's necessary for that person to get that to do what they have to do. And it feels good, if you know what I mean. It does, it's all right. Can you hear me, boss?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm listening to you.
Yeah, man. And today I learned that we actually wrestle with the mighty ones every day because it comes to take away your knowledge and to confuse your head. So I learned that today for the first time in about 1,000 times that you've mentioned it. So that's another thing that makes me feel good. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Oh,
I appreciate it.
and another thing, I got to try and see if I can get down your end of the woods so I can see what's going on site because my house is going to be closing on in August and have other opportunities, and I just wanted to check down that side to see what it's all about because I've been on your live for a little while, not the first one, but a little while. But I don't really know how to get down by you yet. But when that time come, I'll just get in the car, drive down to Texas, and who knows, I might meet someone in. I think you say you're in Austin or something like that. Um,
Oh yeah, I'm in
speak to
Dallas.
some. Oh, you're in Dallas. Okay, I just got to speak to someone in Dallas. Anybody? I know I get directions, so I ain't too worried about that. Yeah, man. So you have a good day, good time. Yeah. Yeah, you're
Hey, yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, bro. That was real. Yeah, I got everything. I appreciate you sharing that though. Yeah, it do feel good. Yeah, I appreciate it. Hey, anybody else got questions or comments that you want to say? Uh, if I said something that maybe you didn't understand, this is the time to mention that. Um, outside of doing this right here, doing this live, I don't really talk much. But we working on it. I've been at it for a little while, so yeah, I appreciate when the people just chop it. You know, that's what's up. But we really been so off into this and community building and decoding that it's like my obsession. So outside of this, I don't do much but work on what the people have for me to do. Or we come together and plan, and that's really all I do. So I see somebody else in the box. I got Hank way too real back up in Autumn. Did you request on purpose this time?
Yeah, yeah. I was a little busy earlier, trying to help get the baby. I got a little autistic great nephew I raised, so. But man, listen, I've been rocking with you for a few months now, and I don't know how to really express it, but you know, everything I've heard you say, I've not heard a flaw or anything to make me doubt one word of what I have heard you say. Now, I grew up, in church. I'm 53, but I've always thought it was something else. I always thought it was something else. And when I came across your page, bro, it's like everything started mentally coming into perspective of thoughts and ideas and concepts that I had throughout my life. And I want to say, I thank you, man, for your hard work. I thank you for your effort. I thank you for all the information that you put out here. And I'm having a time with adjusting to this new information because I believe in my heart that it's true. And I've been trying to spread some of the information, but I'm not efficient enough in the studies that you provide for us. But some of it, I grabbed the first time you started talking about it because it was thoughts that I had or thoughts that was given to me or energy transferred to me. Even before I started hearing some of this stuff, I've always said that, I remember energy, you can't lose it and it can't be stored. It can only be transferred. And I've said that throughout my whole life since high school. But now I'm a grown man. I have to think like a grown man. But I knew it was something to it. And every chance I get, I'm going to rock with you and ride with you. But, bro, I want to say, I know how you come on here. I see the effort you put into it. And I know you said do something to you to be able to provide this information on this platform. But I want to say thank you, bro. I appreciate every bit of it that you do. And that's pretty much it, what I wanted to say.
Hey, thank you, bro.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
for real.
Yes, sir.
All the people out here doing acts of kindness, random acts of kindness, and don't nobody see you doing it, don't nobody know you doing it. The God said he raising a nephew, a father to a son. Like, this is the work you rest from. So you don't gotta say it to nobody. Your life is a testament to who and what you are, to those who can see. So yeah, I appreciate the salutation. So yeah, I'm finna get up out here, y'all. I appreciate that. Peace to the gods and to the goddesses. Thank y'all for rocking with me. For real, for real. It go both ways. Enjoy y'all day.